Welcome back to the Sunday Roast on the special Easter Monday because we had one more game on Monday and we wanted to get them all in at once. Joining me, Darcy Ballard. Darcy, how are you?
I'm very well, Jev. Hey, another weekend down, another weekend of every single game being watched. I'll tell you what, we have been absolutely blessed, Jev. Now, Jev, I do actually have a little bit of a bone to pick with you at the start. Not pretty much with you, but look, if you were to describe to someone what colour is a footy, what would you say? What colour is a footy?
Red.
Red. Looks pretty good, yeah, Jev. Look,
Yeah.
brand spanking new red footy. You know how many games this round, had a red footy?
No.
One.
How many? One.
Adelaide and Fremantle, you are taking the piss. They keep getting yellow footies. It does not look as good on the eyes. When you look at grand final, 2:00 game, red footy, it's zipping round. Adelaide and Fremantle looked unbelievable. Every other game had a yellow footy, Jev. I know it might not be much, but it fucking pisses me off.
I like that. I'm glad you've thought about it. You the red Sharon, middle of the day, MCG, there's nothing better.
I'm sick of it. Just give us a red onion. Like, I was watching through every single game, even today. I get it because they keep putting it with later and later games. But that's just another thing that's going to change, Jev. Might not piss too many people off, but when you're playing or when you were, how good's a red nugget? Just a brand spranker.
Absolutely. All right, let's get into it, Dust. It felt like an eternity ago. So Brisbane, Collingwood, Thursday night. The Lions hand Collingwood their first loss of the season by 33 points at the Gabba. Taylor Adams kicked the first at 26-1. You watched this game, Das. What did you see?
Well, look, Jev, the Pies came out and they played really well. They were leading at the first change, 33-20. But after that, Jev, it was one-way traffic. And I'll tell you what right now, the experiment of Cam Rayner playing off the half-back line is done.
Done.
It's done, Jev. What a performance. I'll tell you what, he looked so good up forward. And guess what, Jev? Have a guess how much he was paying for 4 goals?
Oh, no idea. What was he paying?
They didn't have a market. Have a guess how much he was paying for 3 goals?
How much?
Didn't have a market. What about 2?
Oh, he's got to be like at least 15-1 for 2.
Didn't have a market. What about 1?
I don't know, $2?
You couldn't get him for a snag.
You couldn't even get him any time.
For 1 snag. That's how annoying that was. So I had something to see how much it paid. You could not get him on. I'll tell you what, Jev, Brisbane looked like a completely different team at home. Look, I guess we all expected the Pies to eventually lose a game. I didn't think that they would lose by that much, by 33 points. Do you want to touch on anything before I get into the votes?
Yeah, do I what? So I dropped Charlie Cameron from the pyramid.
Oh.
He hadn't had a kick all season. They're two different teams that are at the Gabba and away from the Gabba. Charlie Cameron kicks 6. What does he pay for 6 goals, Das?
He paid $81.
Do you know how stupid I looked? And people were DMing the 100K like that saying, how'd you drop Cameron from the pyramid? He hadn't had a kick. 81-1 to kick 6. What a performance. Good to see him back.
But, Jev, that's what the pyramid's for. You can't take players on what ifs. It's what only they can show, and by then he hadn't showed you anything, so he must have been listening.
And now he's back in the mix now after a big game of 6. Not easy for a small forward to kick 6. Your votes, couple of bets. What did you have in this game?
Oh, well, the best. It's hard to say, but I'm trying to take it from an umpire's point of view, and you think they almost have to give it to Dacos again. He had 38-2. 16 contested possessions. I had Charlie Cameron second and then Cam Rayner third. But I could easily see them giving Charlie Cameron best on. But I just think the way Dacos plays, he's always around it. He's always, he was so influential for him.
I'll go Dacos. I'll go Charlie Cameron 3 and Dacos 2. If you're kicking 6 in a win, I reckon you're best on ground. It's not easy to kick 6.
It is not.
Even though I think 4 players did it this weekend.
Yeah.
Dacos, he's on fire. He was unbelievable, but he did chirk it. He did shit himself. You've seen the video. I've seen the video. And it just shows Collingwood are human as well. They're definitely beatable. So next game.
Wait, this is a little multi-J. If you had Dacos for 35-2 and Charlie Cameron for 6, that paid $2,500.
You're kidding. That is such an easy. It's not easy to hit people.
You can get midfielder for touches and 2 goals, and then a key forward at the other end to kick a few. That could be a formula later on this, Jev.
Definitely. Next game, Dobe. North versus Carlton. We went to this game on Good Friday, Das, and as promised on the pod, we played up like a couple of 20-year-old whippersnippers. Charlie Curnow kicked the first at 7-1 and then kicked another 5 more and walked off with an enormous bag of 6. It was actually a really good game up until halftime, and then I think Carlton got a bit of a hold of North. What do you reckon, Dobe?
Yeah, look, North who are really going to try and come out after losing to the Hawks the week before, and they've definitely got a little bit more grunt power now around the footy. Guys have played a few more games, so they actually look like more of a team now. But I just think, obviously, we're far too good for them. I was never nervous at any stage. As you said, it was pretty close at halftime, but then we really started to flex our muscles in the second half, up by more than enough at three-quarter time, and then obviously we went on with it at the end. Now, Jev, everyone's seen the video. We did have a bad beat alert. We loved both of them. We loved Harry and we loved Charlie for 5. We had Harry take one in the last quarter. Oh, look, it's all right. He'll just pop it through. No, he's going to right foot banana. That's fine. He'll get another one. Gets a Joe Lagoose out the back, Jev. It's the best goal in football. And he goes and kicks it out on the full from the goal line as a left footer. He's taken us absolutely at the kneecap. So that was really annoying. But apart from that, Jev, I just think that the Blues, we're doing exactly what we need to coming in towards this end of the season. We're just winning games, getting it done. Doesn't matter how you win this time of year, Jeff. Stack the wins. Really try and build up towards the back end of the year. And let's try and win some fucking finals this year.
That made me absolutely sick. That miss for you. We're at the game. It went crazy on the socials, all that stuff of you losing that multi 31-1. He said on Here Comes the Money. He said on the pod. He said both big boys will kick 5. Unbelievable. I got some stuff here. So Kerno kicked 6. He played 8.25-6. That's bloody short. Mackay kicked 4. He paid $3.50 for 4. Geez, that's short as well. Zerha, $3 goals 4. He paid $6.50 for 3. Das, I had $5 on Cam Zerha for 5 at 91-1, and he should have kicked 5. I don't know how he didn't. 3 goals 4. I was seriously stiff. LDU another 30. Cripps 30. Zach Fisher had 28. Now I've been, because I'm really appreciating going to the footy. It's not necessarily watching the Swans. I want to go watch the superstars. Like, you got to appreciate superstars. So we went and watched Dacos round 2 against Port, and we're like, this bloke is just different. And then we watched Charlie Curnow play on Marvel Stadium, and I was just thinking, like, I've never seen anything like it. And I reckon if you were to go to a lab and build the perfect forward, I reckon he'd come out looking like Charlie Curnow.
It'd be close.
6'5", ripped, big shoulders, built like a brick shithouse. He's quick. He's strong. He's a beautiful kick of the footy. He's got beautiful hands. I was just watching him like, he looks like he's going to kick goal every time they kick it to him. He's going to take a mark. He's going to kick goal. He's a beautiful set shot. I'm just like, this guy is, if he wasn't injured, we've nearly missed 2 years of how good he really is. He looks like he's built in a lab. If you were to do a science experiment on the perfect forward, that I reckon would come out looking like Charlie Curnow. He is impressive specimen, Das.
He at the height of the footy, it's like no one can contest him. And every single time he has a set shot, Jev, he genuinely doesn't look like missing.
He just pumps him.
He just goes back and kicks him.
We watched him warm up. We were behind him, and he was outside 50, and he was just booting them over the fence. He takes the mark at the highest points, jumps higher than any defender. I absolutely love it. I think he is a genuine superstar. He's only going to get better. I'm so excited to watch him play more this season. He was incredible to watch.
Done.
Now, is there a return?
Jev, I'll tell you what. There is a king returning for the Blues, Jev, and this is no one other than our man, Sam fucking Walsh. Jev, Sam Walsh is back for the Blues this week at the gather round, at the reach around in Adelaide. I don't think people are very quick to forget. This kid polled 30 Brownlow votes only 2 years ago in his third year of the AFL. With Kennedy back, Blake Acres back this week. That means Lockie O'Brien is out of the side. The Blues go on a run, Jev. And look, there's something that we really want to try and get over. I have a photo with me and Sam Walsh, or it looks like me and Sam Walsh, but that's one thing that we're really going to try and look to do before the end of the season, Jev. Get a photo with me and Walshy. So the petition starts now, but Jev, I can tell you what, the Blues have never won at Adelaide Oval. Guess what? We're going to run through them next week. After that, we have the Saints at Marvel. The Saints have their tails up. We're going to run through them. Then we have the Eagles over in West Coast. We're going to absolutely run through them. Then guess what, Jev? We're back to Marvel Stadium for the Lions. Put a line through them. Then we've got the Bulldogs. We're going to run through them. And then the Sunday, round 10, 320 against the Pies, Jev. I'll tell you what, it is going to be the biggest home and away crowd in AFL history. The undefeated Blues look to get one back against the Pies. We win that and we lock in a top 4 spot. The Blues looking unbeatable so far this year. Come on.
So what are you saying? 10? Well, that'd be 9 wins, 1 draw, 0 losses. Blues. Oh, that will be Huge. And I know you're big on, you think there's a conspiracy theory around the Blues making the top four this year. You've never seen umpiring the Blues get more of a run of the umpires than you have this year.
I know I can be biased. I know I can be biased, but I can also know when to call a spade a spade. I'll tell you what, some of the free kicks we got the other day were disgusting. And you tell you what, this will be the start of it. Watch Harry Mackay get off. If Harry Mackay gets off, because you know why? It's gather round. They want all the superstars playing. They'll say he hit him below below the shoulder right before he hit him. Tell you what, if Mackay gets off, the Blues make a run, will be undefeated by round 10.
Yeah, we were hearing it from the North supporters at the game. They reckon you kick 6 to 8 goals from free kicks, which
Weird.
a lot of them were there. Aiden Core and what was the other key back? Aiden Core and Aiden Bonner, is it?
Riley or Aiden, one of them.
They had the fear of God in their eyes every time back. So they were scrapping and grabbing, but you did get a lot of goals free kicks. But I love this call. If Harry Mackay gets off, basically Blues are finishing top four. You might.
We go undefeated and we verse the Pies. The Pies probably only lose one or two more in between that because they've got a bit of a tough draw. It will be the biggest home and away crowd, Jev, in AFL history.
I love that. 104,000 at the G. Stop it.
Be lock and loaded.
Next game, Adelaide versus Freo. 100K's favourite team outside of our own dust. The Adelaide Crows get it done over Freo pretty easily by 39 points. The big Texan kicked the first at 10:50. We both watched this game, Das, and I fucking loved it. What did you see?
Well, I'm really going to swing to you towards the back end of this, but Jev, I'll tell you what, the Crows, very dominant. They just want to get their hands on the footy straight away. Any 50-50 balls, they were going in way harder. Even some of the times that Freo got the ball, they literally just grab it off them. The Crows are looking like a serious team, and young gun Max Michaelani looks like a player. You've got Scholl and Murphy running and having a crack. Saligo and Pedler run that hard, even though Pedler didn't play. Watch him to come back in the side, Jev. But look, they've really needed to rely on guys like Keys, Sloan, and Laird. Those really needed to be the ones to get them ignited. But I'll tell you what, Jev, they don't need those three anymore to get them up and going because they've got a former Swan now captain and arguably the most two exciting players in the AFL to watch. Take it away, Jev. These are your men. Yeah. Talk about them.
Yeah, we can't help it. We might as well give it away now. So we'll message each other, darts. I absolutely love Isaac Rankin, and you absolutely love Josh Rochelle. I was calling myself Isaac Rankin. You were calling yourself Rochelle. So we're going to tease it now. Basically, this week on Here Comes the Money, we're going to have a $10 on the multi, 2 and 15 club, Rankin for 2 and 15, Rochelle for 2 and 15. If that gets up, we are both buying a brand new Adelaide Crows home jersey. I'm getting the 22 Isaac Rankin. You're getting the number 8 Josh Rochelle jersey, and we are wearing them proudly on the pod. I couldn't be more up and about for these two. I don't think there's a more exciting player in the league right now than Isaac Rankin. Everything he touches turns to gold. Rochelle looks like he's taking this game to another level. You could nearly argue he's picked 2 in that draft behind Nick Dacos now.
Yep.
They are looking unbelievable, those two. So I'm so pumped. But they're playing the Blues this week, aren't they?
Yeah, no, they are. So I'm not sure if we want to go 2 and 15, but actually, fuck it. They're in Adelaide. I reckon they're really going to get up and about.
Yeah, we'll back them, and if it loses, we'll back them again the next week until it hits and we wear a new Crows jersey.
Nah, it's smart.
Gets me up and about. Do you have any odds on this game?
Well, I did. I was just looking because it was pretty much just sprinkled around, and there was nothing really too much that paid that much. But it's interesting to check out the votes because I wrote down. Dawson was clearly 3, 27-1, 96% efficiency. I had Rochelle at 2 at 20 and 3. And then Rankin, look, 15 touches, 3 goals, 2, 13 of those touches inside the forward 50. And then I went to have a quick look at the coaches' vote. So they were my 3-2-1. I'm not sure what you would have given. I just thought when the game was on, Rochelle got it done early.
Yeah.
And towards the back end, it was done. But they gave Dawson most, Max Michaelani next, Ned McHenry next, Brodie Smith next, Taylor Walker, Chase Jones, Isaac Rankin, and Riley Thilthorpe. So they didn't even give Rochelle one coach's vote at all. But I thought when the game was on, they putting him in the middle, put his head over the onion. I thought he was unbelievable. When
are Caleb Sarong and Andrew Brayshaw going to lift Freo themselves? They've missed a trick in pre-season, WA. They have missed a trick. Oh, they don't kick any goals. You got to kick goals.
No, like Matt Taberner looks slow, but they all look slow. Every single one of them. So, yeah, I don't know what is going to be the go with them. A lot of people had Freo towards their top 8. They look shithouse.
Do they what? All right, next game, Richmond versus the Dogs. The Dogs get it done on a beautiful rainy arvo at the mecca of footy, the MCG does. Tom Lynch kicked the first at 9-1. We both watched most of this game. What did you see, Doe?
Fuck, what an arm wrestle. Like, the Dogs were really giving it to him in the wet. And then they always kept commenting about it. Like, the Dogs just winning at the source. That's why they got Taranto on top of the Tigers, but they couldn't get their hands over it. And then just out of nowhere, they've kicked 7 in a row. And you're just like, what the fuck is going on? The Dogs couldn't stop a nosebleed and then clawed their way back. It was actually, like, those games, I actually enjoy watching those games. Even though they're sloppy, it's like not completely just because of pressure and turnover. Like, it's just because of the conditions. Although the Tigers for multiple weeks in a row were under 60% by foot. And you're not going to win too many games kicking like that, Jev.
Yeah.
But Bont was unbelievable.
Bont, he's starting to show again how good he really is. Like we always talk about, you talk about Clary. I talk about Clary as best player in the league. There's Cribs, Cameron, Kerno, whatever. But when he's on, he's a good player. He's a good player. He knows how to get it done.
Oh, but even there was a few, like when he went forward and he's just coming out a million miles an hour and just clunking them.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a freak.
You know, like you hear people talk about, I'm not going to compare him to Wayne Carey, but when he was the captain, he sensed moments and he stood up in big moments. Always feel like Bontempelli senses big moments. When it's time, they need something. They need a big clearance, a big tackle, a big mark. I reckon he senses moments as good as any captain in the league.
No, he was unreal. Like, I thought Dusty was good at stages, got his hands on the ball shy. Bolton was finally getting near contests and kicking goals because he hasn't been kicking many this year. But yeah, all credit to the Dogs. I did not think that they were going to get close in that one. I thought the Tigers were going to run over him.
I got some odds here for you. So Bailey Dale, he had 30, paid 4-1 for 30. Shy, another man I dropped from the pyramid, had a career. He had his best game of the season, 3-16. He paid $4 for 3 and bounced back to form. We had Bailey Smith for 20 in the 100K. Jeez, we were nervous about that. He hit that late in the game. Judson Clark, Morgs' man, Judson Clark, had 20 touches. He paid $9 for 20 touches. And Big Timmy English, or as Morgs likes to call him, the translucent crayfish, kicked 2 at $10.50 for 2. So, yeah, the Dogs are 2-2. I think the Tigers are, what are they, 1-2? Yep, so...
Only other win was against Adelaide, which is potentially looking like a pretty good win.
Yeah, at Adelaide Oval, 100%. And now Nate Curvis is getting surgery on his foot. He might be out for 8 weeks. Tom Lynch hurt his ankle and he's getting suspended. He might be out for a couple of weeks. It's not looking good for the Tigers. Now they're going to rely on Jack Riewoldt.
100%. Like, with Lynch out and like Riewolt's only getting older, it's going to be a very interesting next few weeks.
The next game does. St Kilda versus Gold Coast. The Saints move to 4-0 and keep it rolling after impressive thumping of the Suns by 53 points under the lid. Ben King kicked the first at 11-1. Although I am the harshest critic, it's hard not to be impressed with the Saints right now, Das. What did you see?
Knock, knock, Jev. I'll tell you what, another dominant performance. The Saints, Jev, another 53-point win under the lid. It is unbelievable. I'll tell you what, they dominated the Suns after quarter time like Joey Chestnut dominates a hot dog eating contest. The Suns were dead right disgusting. 120 less disposals, 15 more turnovers, and Jev marks inside 50s, 15-3. You're not going to be winning too many games when you can't get the ball inside 50 and have genuine set shots on goal. Thought Noah Anderson was really good. He had his 38 disposals, had a goal, should have actually kicked a couple. Took and Weller were good. They can hold their head up. But our man, Jev, Matt Rao, he needs to get on the phone and talk to Brad Hill, Isaac Smith, learn to get some outside ball. Even talk to Tom Mitchell, someone that's an inside mid that can actually still get his hands on the footy and learn to impact games. 12 disposals from a midfielder is just not good enough, Jev, unfortunately. You're not going to be winning games with your A-graders playing like that.
Yeah, that was probably our only bad leg in the 100K bet, hey?
But like,
Matt Rao for 20.
Would you expect Oliver to go under 25?
Yeah.
Or 20? Would you expect Cripps to go under 20? Very rarely.
Yeah.
Like, Bont to go under 20. Like,
12s.
Role, but Bont doesn't play hunting around the footy the entire game.
Yeah,
like,
12's just not good enough, hey?
It is not good enough.
Yeah. Do you have any odds? Any odds for this game?
Yeah, so like Jev, another big one, Mitch Owens. He was
What a player.
fucking insane.
What a player.
you can look at stats and obviously you can bend them however you want, but the way he gets the ball, mate, and he's got wheels, like arch the back a few times, running in. So big ones for this, like him for 25 touches, Jev paid 480. And I still think this is semi-short, but it's just because he had such a good game the other week. Jack Higgins, he's obviously kicked 9 goals in 2 weeks, but him for 5 goals is paying $26.
Oh, not bad. So
It's
what he kicked
not
5?
bad, but
Yeah,
for a small forward, like,
it's not easy kicking 5. Yeah,
nah.
you're right.
Well, those are the best ones. And the votes, like it's a hard one, Jev. Sinclair was unreal. Mitch Owens was unreal. Higgins was obviously really good. And your man, Jev, Cal Wilkie, also known as the blanket. Jev, 24 disposals, 11 marks, 88% efficiency. Look, who have they versed? They had Freo at the Dome.
Yeah.
They don't have a forward line. Next.
Beat the Bombers, who aren't much chop. Who'd they beat round 2? I can't remember.
No, they had the Suns.
Suns. I think was it GWS? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, they're not much.
I'm not sure if we can call him the blanket yet.
Nah,
I'm
but
not sure, Jeff. Wait to see if he comes up against Geelong again. Wait till he comes up against the Blues. See how they go against Adelaide maybe in a few weeks. See how they go against a couple. He's playing well. But
I agree. One thing that really annoys me about Saints supporters, so I gave him a bit of credit, put Cal Wilkie in my thing, and then all I get from him is, where's Jack Sinclair in the pyramid? Like, they think they've gone 4-0 for the first time in about 250 years, and now they're telling me they've got the best 21 players in the comp. Pisses me off. They are the most insecure supporters in the sport. It gives me the shits. I still don't think they're making finals, Dust. Do you think they're making finals? Nah, fuck them.
Well, if they do, it is a early exit.
Yeah, 100%. All right, next game. Swans versus Port Adelaide. Oh boy, did this piss me off. The Power win it on the siren by 2 points. Peter Adams kicks the first at 41-1. Now, Dust, I still don't know how the Swans lost this. We're up by 5 goals to start the game, up by 20 points at three-quarter time at home, and then had a shot inside 50 after the siren to win it for the 3rd time and didn't make the fucking distance. Look, I'm not going to say I'm worried about the Swans yet, but I can see teams pay us more respect now, and the competition has definitely caught up to us, and we are not as good as we were last year. I was flat as a biscuit after this game.
It must be frustrating. I'd both screens on at this time, and you guys were running away in the first quarter. Like, they could not get their hands on it. You guys just weren't able to convert at some of those stages, but you almost thought it was all over when you had Chad Warner pretty much kick that other one from the middle, and it was just like, let's go. And then it was just clawed it back. Next one, Finlayson got one. You guys go the end to end. I think Ollie Florent, you got to feel bad for him. He obviously thought he made the distance. Yeah, Dill Stevens tackled him over, started hugging him. It's
I finally watched a side on, and it's a bit of a weird one.
It drops.
Yeah, he absolutely flushed it. It's up, and then it just bang.
It just drops.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen that angle, and I'm like, oh my god! Like, even right up until that point, you think it's hammering through, and just
it looks like it drops like 10 meters out from being a snag, and just
someone's got a piece through it.
To be fair to the Swans, though, we lost Paddy McCartan and Tom McCartan in the first quarter. You lose your 2 key backs. It's not easy to win a game, but I still don't know how we lost this game, that's for sure.
I feel, and we've seen that happen once before so far early this year, Jev. You get Max Gawn out and Stephen Mayer laid out, and it definitely derails the spine and how you guys obviously stop injuries coming in. Who would you give him votes to? Chad Warner?
Chad, he had 30 and 2. Like,
Alir was good.
I think, by the looks of it, I think Alir was nearly best on. Well, I think it was Alir, Chad, Ollie, Florent. He had 33 touches. He was really good. And then Zach Butters had 27 and 1. I think a lot of people giving Alir best on. Maybe for him 3, Chad 2, Ollie 1.
Ollie Florent was unreal.
Yeah, so Tommy Papley, we had him for 2 and 15 in the 100K dust. He had 1 goal, 3 and 14. Geez, that's a stiff loss. It's a bad beat. Jeremy Finlayson kicked 3, including the winner. He paid 12-1 for 3. Chad Warner, 2 and 30. He paid $4.75 for 2 and $4.90 for 30. I had a little sprinkle on that 30, I'm not going to lie. Ollie Florent, 33. He paid 9-1 for 30 and cost us a top 4 spot. That's what he paid for that. And then Zach Butters, 1 goal and 27 touches. He was $3.50 for 25 and $2.30 for a goal. Yeah, Swans, we've got the Tigers. We've got Richmond this week, gather round, Adelaide Oval. So no Paddy McCartan definitely. Not sure about Tom McCann, but then no Tom Lynch.
No Lynch.
Jack Rewalt probably comes back in. So it's going to be interesting to see how these teams are picked.
100%.
Chad Warner usually loves playing the Tigers, so let's hope he gets off the. He loves playing the Tigers, so let's hope he gets off the chain a little against them.
100%.
And another one is Buddy. Is Buddy done? Is it time? Is it time to say we're better without him?
I reckon they just say, Bud, let's just have a managed rest this week.
That's what I'd like to see.
Just see if the kids go off again.
I'd like to see that, and then it's Amadi and Logan McDonald's forward line for a week, and just see how it looks.
Yeah, just
more, Heaney gets a few more targets. Yeah,
they all look pissed off.
Yeah, so we'll see.
They all look pissed off. Like you see, Papley sometimes look pissed off, but yeah.
Next game, Dobe. Essendon versus GWS. The Bombers continue their hot start under the lid against the Giants by knocking them off by 13 points. The Rolls-Royce Josh Kelly kicked the first at 34-1. What did you see under the lid, Dobe?
Well, Jev, GWS actually at one stage were up by 19 points, and then the Bombers came back. Jev, we did say on the pod that Parrish would lead the side in disposals and get his 30 disposals. So he did that, and also everyone gets a lick of the ice cream under the lid. All these players, Jev, are over $1.26 for 20. Let me read it out. We've got Merritt, Shield, Redmond, Martin, Ridley, Setterfield, and McGrath.
That's fast.
They were all paying over $1.26. And I'll tell you what, Jev, but it was the package show with 4 snags. 4 goals, 6 actually, included a barrel, which looked like a vortex thrown by you. Not too much revs on it. $11.50 for 4, but Jev, I know you had him for 5. Let everyone know how much you paid.
Yeah, so I'm just like, 34-1 for Stringer to kick 5. I like the look of that. He's kicked 4 goals, 6. 4 goals, 6. I couldn't get to 5. I couldn't believe I didn't win here, especially when 4 goals, 6 equals what 5 does. I feel like I should have got some money back or something, Das. I feel a bit stiffed out of that. You got any other odds out of this game?
Not really, because everything else was short. Nothing really stood out. We said that Langford would potentially get up. He got chopped one over the neck. He didn't get his second.
He kicked 1 goal 2, I think. 1 goal 2, 1 goal 3.
And look, Toby came back late and kicked that, but there was nothing really big to look at because the market, it was just pretty much all those ones. Yeah. A lot of guys for 20, not too many guys kicking goals. Not too many stands out in that game, but GWS, they just look like, they can't run out games, or they're there, but they just buggered.
They got to send Himmelberg to half back again, don't they?
Yeah.
Win the ball again, get it in quick. Jesse Hogan, Toby Green. Give Toby Green more time, 1 out in the 50. He's so dangerous. It gives me the shit when they're going quick and they go in long and it's to Jesse Hogan and you're like, that should be Tobes 1 out of the cube in a one-on-one. Like, it annoys me so much when it's Jesse Hogan. He's a good player, but he's not Toby. He's your franchise. See, when they do it to Kerno and Mackay, like, it turns into goals. So that's what I think anyway.
You're right. Any time Toby gets near it, it is just cash. Although, sorry, Jev, we did have a winner. We went through every single game. We're like, fans, send us in.
Yes.
Do we have something? So we did have a winner. So this is what we came up with. So we had Toby Green for 2, Shield for 20, Merritt 25, Ridley 15, and Mason Redmond for 20. That got us $4, Jev, and everyone got a lick of that ice cream.
Yeah, that's delicious. 4 times your money. That is beautiful.
Come on. That was good.
Next game, West Coast versus Melbourne. We predicted this game perfectly on hook, line, and sinker and the 100K pod, Das. Melbourne blew the Eagles out by 63 points in the end. Bailey Fritsch kicked the first at 8.50. Look, West Coast tried hard from the start. They're just too injured, and the damn wall eventually broke, and it was always going to break. Clayton Oliver got off the chain again for 34 touches. Petrarca had his best game of the season and kicked his first goal of the season. He had 29 and 3. Cozzy Pickett was welcomed back into the side and welcomed back to the 2 and 15 club.
Yes,
Tim Kelly's in some seriously good form, Das, racking up 36 and 2. You watched this game. What did you see?
Well, Jeff, exactly what you said. It's like you watch the D's when they came out. They were sort of laughing in the huddle before the game. Like, they were just going to go out there and enjoy it. They love that crowd. They want a grand final there. And like West Coast sort of gave them a little bit of a contest towards the start, but once as you said, Jeff, the damn wall broke and Tom McDonald started to look like a prime favola coming out, kicking him from everywhere. They even put him in the ruck, takes one from the ruck and kicks one from about 80. That was about 60 on the run, but they were far too good. You could sprinkle those votes around everywhere. They look back to their best.
I think Petrarca has to have the 3. Tim Kelly, he was fucking good. He has to have the 2. And then, you can sprinkle for the 1. Clary can get one. Cozzy could get one. 2 goals, 5 Cozzy kicked. He kicked one on the side. We were all sweating him for 2. He was on 0 goals, 5 at 3/4 time. Kicked his first, then kicked his second on the side. We're happy for him. And, yeah, so Tim Kelly, he had, 35 and 2. He paid $5.60 for 35 and $7.75 for 2. If you had that multi, Tim Kelly for 35 and 2, that would have got 43 to 1. And then Petrarca paid $7.70 for 3. So there's some delicious odds for you.
We've been saying that he's due to kick a few goals as well. You just got to, you got to be there when it does. So Jev, I actually had him for 2 and 35.
Yeah, you're a bit stiff there.
I was paying $10.
I
should have teased it into 30 and 3, but
I had Petrarca 25, Oliver 30, and then both to kick 2. And so Petrarca kicked his 2, but Oliver didn't kick 1. So I was a bit flat. He was still good, Oliver, but yeah, didn't trouble the scorers this week. That was the leg we had in the 100K bet. That might go on ice for a week. You know, you see midfielders kick 2 in a game like he did the Swans, and you go, right, he's kicking another one. That's added to his game. But now he can go on ice for a week till he kicks another couple in a row.
I'll tell you what, who's due? Fucking Cripps.
Yeah, he's due. He should have kicked the first as well. I know my missus, me and her had $10 on Cripps to kick the first, and he missed a sitter.
I had my weekly wage on him for 25 and a stag, Petrarca for 25 and a stag. I'm working overtime this week, Jev.
Oh, God. All right, last game of the week. Today's game. Everyone watched it. Now everyone's going to hear us talk about it. Geelong finally get on the winners column and start their season with an 82-point second-half dismantling of the Hawks. Luke Bruce kicked the first at 11:50. The Hawks actually played really well for the first half. Their pressure was up. They were winning the contested ball, and they were moving the ball quick. And then after halftime, the Cats kicked 11 goals to 0 in the third quarter, and the game was over. The best player in the comp kicked 7 fucking goals, Darcy.
Wait. Is this an exclusive?
No.
Is this an exclusive? The best player in the comp. Is this an exclusive?
You tell me. It's his second bag of over 6 for the season. He's just kicked 7 and had 22. He's an absolute star. Look, he's top 2 and he might not be 2. Let's just put it that way. Top 2 and might not be 2. 7 goals, 22 touches to get Jez Cameron. What did you see, Dave? What did you like?
Mate, I love the Hawks' pressure at the start. There was a bit in it. Guys actually trying to have a crack, but fuck, they just cannot run out a game. And as soon as they started to pour on the onslaught, exact same as Melbourne, Jev, they were unstoppable. Jeremy Cameron is a fucking freak. Like, he's a genuine machine. Goes through routine, just pump the footy and just roll back. He just fucking bangs them through every single time. And he gets himself in the best spots, but not by chance. Like, you watch him up the ground, he'll go up and get his kick. And there was one bit I was literally watching, and I just watch him run straight back towards goal and then marks again. It's not by chance, Jev. It's by work rate, and it's like, you can only imagine when you go actually watch him play, he does so much more work off camera than what he does like on it as well. And he's absolutely deserving to be top 2, Jev. So he was incredible. Dangerfield definitely stood up again. He had him for 25 and 1, which is great. But the Hawks very disappointing in the second half.
Yeah, that's their problem. When it's not going well for them, they don't know how to stop. They don't know how to stop teams kicking a lot of goals on them. I heard on the commentary they were saying how Geelong started going slower from half back, more deliberate, then getting it deep inside 50, so then the Hawks can't bounce it out quick. Because if you get shallow entries around, the Hawks and half back, they're flying off half back, it's going back the other way. But they were a bit more deliberate, a bit slower, then it was long and deep, and then they couldn't bounce out, and they just kicked goal after goal on them. So Jeremy Cameron, he only paid $4.50 for 5, which is fucking short. $4.50 for 5 is unbelievable. I think he paid about 8 to 1 for 6, and you can't even bet on him for 7. Mitch Duncan played his first game of the season, had a game high 31 disposals. He was $4.80 for 30, which is a good first game back. Danger had his best game of the season with 27 and 1. He was $2.20 for 25. I think he was about $1.80 for a snag. And then Luke Bruce was probably the best for the Hawks with 3. He paid $3.80 for 3 goals. So,
mate, it was even a tough day for Sicily. There wasn't too many points, so not too many kickouts. But a lot of times, he likes to zone off. But Jeremy's too quick at times, and but even a lot of it, they try to double him, but too good. The kicking wasn't too many one-on-one good contests, and Sicily was a step behind.
If there was one player for the Swans that played well on grand final day, it was Robbie Fox on Jeremy Cameron, and he just didn't give him a meter. you can't play in your team system. You just got to arm on Jeremy Cameron. He's too good. He's too fucking good. How good is he?
Athletic guys, Jeff. You know, you talk about in a lab. Jeremy Cameron must have been in the same lab as Charlie
Yeah,
Curto. Tell you what,
he is a hell. He is a very talented footballer. He's a hell of a player. Now, Das, we've got a new segment. We've made a premiership pie. This is our odds of the premiership pie. Morg's he's gonna edit in the photo. We're gonna go to the premiership pie. So here are your 0%ers. These teams have zero chance of winning the premiership.
and that's from 100%. We've put a line through them now. We've seen enough footy. We've seen all these teams play 4 games. These teams will not win the premiership. Read it through, Jev.
Richmond, Essendon, North Melbourne, Freo, GWS, West Coast, Gold Coast, and the Hawks. Zero chance of winning the premiership.
I don't think we really need to elaborate on it, Jev. All of them, too many injuries, too many crimes. Don't like any of them.
All right, 25% chance of winning the premiership. Melbourne. I think they're the best team in the comp right now. I think they're the premiership favourites. Giving them a quarter of the pie, 25%. Do you agree?
I do. I did my preseason prediction, had them winning the most amount of games. Look, they had that hiccup against Brisbane. As we said, you lose May, you lose Gawn. I'll tell you what, you get Gawn back, just sit him forward. Let Brodie Grundy's looking good in the ruck. Mate, I think they are the best team in the AFL, and the odds should equal that. Definitely a quarter of the pie, Jev, 25%.
15%. Collingwood and Carlton.
Ooh. The Pies are still an unbelievable team, and I'll tell you what, the Blues, Jev, we will just start to hit our straps. I'll tell you what, but it's not only just because that, it's because the run we get. The AFL want this as well. Go look at our schedule. Go look at it. We have a clear run to a top 4 spot, a home prelim final.
Exactly.
And straight in. So I think 15% chance is bang on.
It's another thing I like. If Collingwood or Carlton finish top 4, they might not have to leave Melbourne to win a premiership. Could it be MCG, 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 done. It's why they're a little higher, 10%. Swans, Geelong, Brisbane, 10% on our pie. Brisbane, because they're a good side, just can't play outside of the Gabba. Geelong, you got to respect them. First game, first win today. They won the premiership last year. They've nearly got the best player in the comp. Swans, I think they're a lucky 10%. They're still a good side. They played in the grand final last year. They'll get it together. They do have a hard draw, though, the Swans. But, you still got to respect them. They can win big finals. They've showed they can win big finals. So that's our 10% teams.
I love it. Our 8%, Jev, got to give it to Adelaide. Look, they're showing a bit. I have them finishing in the top 8. I have them just pretty much scraping in at 8. I think the way that they play a lot of their home games, Jev, I think Adelaide Oval is going to become a lot more like a fortress rather than it has been the last couple of years. Fans are definitely coming out to watch them play, and they are fucking loud. Even the game they lost against the Tigers, when they came back and they kicked about 7 goals in a row, it was unbelievable. I'll tell you what, they believe in Adelaide and they are box office.
They've got one of the most exciting players in the comp. They absolutely love it. So we're giving Adelaide 5%. The Saints, I can't see the Saints winning the premiership, but you got to respect the 4-0 start. Could turn to 5-0, could turn to 7-0. They have to be something. I get Max King back, all of a sudden a fit Max King.
Tim Embry
still kicks 40 goals. So we're going to give the Saints 5%. And then 1% we're giving to the Dogs and Port Adelaide. The Dogs, because of one man, he's tier 3 on my pyramid. Marcus Bontempelli looks like he can win a final off his own boot some weeks. Got a good cast around him, but he is a star. We know we question the Dogs' defense, but that man alone makes me think the Dogs can win a flag. And then Port Adelaide, we're giving them 1%. They're not winning the flag. We'll give them 1%.
But just for this week, I reckon next week we could be cutting them as well.
Yeah, they could be on zip.
I reckon we're almost down to, we're close to being at 8 sides already here, Jev.
Yeah. Looking at this, there's not many sides outside of, so I'm happy with it. You happy with it?
Very happy with the premiership pie.
Hey, let's see what TikTok and Insta have to say about the premiership pie, because I think it's absolutely perfect, and I assume everyone on TikTok and Insta will agree with us.
I think that they always do tend to agree with us, Jev, but I think it's bang on. I guarantee they will be very close to the top 8 coming in towards the back end of the season.
Yeah, all right. Good pod, Dust. The Monday roast. We will get this up as soon as possible and ready for everyone to listen to tomorrow. Got Hook, Line and Sinker Wednesday night. We got 100K back on Friday. Is the Shark coming on to give us the updated Brownlow leaderboard? I think he might be.
I hope so. And gather round, reach around, Jev. It's going to be a lot of Adelaide, and I'm excited.
Oh, I wish we were in Adelaide. So let's go, Das. Let's go. Good week. I'll speak to you.